YouTube, greetings and felicitations. Do I have a treat for you? I have two replays here of some very, very high-end play. This is from the Total War Warhammer World Cup final match, grand final match, between the winner of the winner's bracket, Tlaxcalan Soothsayer, and Lotus Moon. The format was thus: winner's bracket, loser's bracket. If you follow any kind of fighting game championships like Street Fighter, they'll do like a loser's bracket where people who get out of the winner's bracket have a chance to compete against each other for a chance for the winner of the loser's bracket to face the winner of the winner's bracket. I think it's a bit of a joke personally, but it's a model, it's been around, and it's existed in video gaming, so here it is for the World Cup final. So this is the winner of the winner's bracket, Tlaxcalan Soothsayer, versus the winner of the loser's bracket, Lotus Moon, both of which are pretty big in the community. Tlaxcalan Soothsayer, I am of the opinion, is probably the best player right now that puts his name out there, that does a lot of streaming. He won the Ever-Chosen Invitational pretty handily, only getting beaten once or twice by Dov plays in the final match. This was a best of 5, and the winner of the winner's bracket has a game in hand. Or it's a best of 7. So first to win 4 games wins the whole thing. But Tlaxcalan Soothsayer starts with 1 win already because he's in the winner's bracket. That's how it's supposed to be. So if he wins 3 games, Tlaxcalan Soothsayer wins the grand finale. If Lotus Moon wins 4 games, he wins the grand finale. So this is game 1. Lotus Moon is a bit of a niche player. He only plays elves. He's good with them. His micro is insane, but this plays against him in such a large format. So he's already spread out all over the place. So here we have High Elves with Alariel the Radiant versus Empire. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the High Elf army. If you wanted to see some competitive High Elf play, this is it, folks. So we have Silver Helms Shields. We're going to go to slow motion in those trees there. I don't believe they're hidden currently. Yes, they are. They are hidden. We have a Spearman here and a Spearman over there. We've got Shadow Warriors up here, and here. I love Shadow Warriors for their really decent melee stats and their forward deployness. We have Alariel the Radiant on her flying mount. I already mentioned the 2 Spearmen. We have more. So we have a Dragon Princess and a Fireborn, which is a Regiment of Renowned Dragon Princes. A Sisters of Avalorn here, which is hidden. And a Mage of Light on foot. Fascinating. And these Dragon Princes are also hidden. And did I say that was a Silver Helm over here? Yes, it is. Silver Helms with shields. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Imperial player who brought a steam tank. They are only allowed to bring 1 in competitive play, but he's already pushed it forward. We have Spearmen of Shields, Swordsmen protecting Royal Outdwarf Griffites, Demigryph Knights with Halberds, a Jade Wizard, the Art Collector, and a Warrior Priest, more Swordsmen, some Empire Knights, interesting pick, Swordsmen, some more Demigryph Knights with Halberds, and some Spearmen with Shields. This unit is deployed so that the enemy can see it, and I think the plan here from Tlaxcalan Soothsayer is my army is deployed in a line right here. And it kind of is, but he's more spread out over here. This is where his real killing power is. The Art Collector is hidden. Okay, so his special characters are hidden. So for the most part, the 2 armies are trying to hide what they have displayed. And this steam tank, I was wondering if it was actually going to go straight after those Shadow Warriors, but it can't even see them. They're actually they have a stalk kind of going for them. So if that steam tank knew those Shadow Warriors were there, I think it might actually push right into it. But in the meantime, though, it's going to go ahead and try and take some shots. Oh, what a dodge. You see that micro from that. He just moved off, moved in. All right, so now the Shadow Warriors have shown their position. Their ammo is not armor-piercing by any stretch of the imagination. So I think they'd just be wasting ammo against the steam tank. But hey, then again, these are the experts, not me. And sure enough, he's going to open fire on... it looks like he opened fire on the Spearman.
Setting forth.
even Tlaxcalan Soothsayer is getting some epic dodges against the Shadow Warriors ammo. One of those arrows hit, and it did it dented the armor of the thing. It might have taken 1 or 2 hit points. Lariel is going to go ahead and try and do some scouting. Go ahead and just clear out this wood, just make sure nobody's there, and is eventually going to come this way. We're going to go ahead and fast forward because this is going to be a pretty long skirmish phase and a scouting phase as well, as the two armies just try to see where the other one is. Okay, so right away over here, Lariel has found some of the Demigryph Knights with Halberds, and the swordsmen are pushing up. Yeah, the Tloxan Soothsayer, knowing that he's about to be discovered, he's just going to go ahead and push everything up. He doesn't have any ranged units, does he? So Lariel the Radiant is going to have free reign of the skies. The only thing that can bring her down is the steam tank. That's going to be pretty fascinating.
Ancestors! Asa, move!
Empire Knights should be pretty solid against Shadow Warriors, so I think it's a good idea to go ahead and try and charge Shadow Warriors. Shadow Warriors already falling back, seeing that this could happen to them. They do count as a Parthian shot unit, meaning that they can move while firing. In tournament terms, we call that a Parthian shot unit because that was how Parthian noble archers worked in Rome Total War II, I do believe. What a dodge. Oh, I love watching dodges. He just jukes the cavalry back, jukes them forward again. And avoids that. Didn't avoid it that time.
Moving out!
With haste!
Setting forth! We advance!
So again, this is game 1 of 7.
Forward! Setting forth!
And sure enough, this is already looking to be a doozy. It's going to go on for about 10 more minutes.
Death to all! Moving out!
And I will show you in a future video a second battle in this one that I watched live and I thought was very fascinating. This is a battle I did not actually see. I know the result, but I'm very fascinated to see how this one plays out, because these are the two factions that both players said they wanted to use first. Because that's another rule. You cannot use the same faction again. Once you've used a faction in a game match, in a game set, in the sense the set is a best of 7, you cannot use that faction again. So we know that this player, Lotus Moon, needs to win 4 games. That means he needs to, and he only plays elves. That means he's going to need to find, oh nice, he's got the, oh no, those demigryphs are about to get nuked. Oh man, what a hit. Half their health gone. What a play. Empire Knights getting routed. Empire basically falling right into Lotus Moon's trap here. And by trap, I mean net of Emmentalk. And that just plays right into the Dragonborn. They charge right into the Demigryph Knights. And here comes Wave 2, Dragon Princes. Lariel's in here supporting. Bam! Another huge hit. This is going to be a big blob, but in the meantime, Altdorf Griffites and Spearmen and Swordsmen, and even these Empire Knights are getting shot up. But here's Alara the Radiant using her Star of Avalorn. There's nothing to stop her from doing so, as the Sisters of Avalorn are going to continue to lay out the waste. We also have a look at all of those spells that are going. We have Hammer of Sigmar, we have a Shield of Faith, and then for the Elves we have Star of Avalorn, and there's also a Mage of Light here who can probably set them up with Barona's Time Warp. No, he's only brought Net of Emmentalk, so he's already waiting to recharge that next net, hoping to just obliterate or hold the enemy still so that he can't obliterate. Oh, look at that! The Jade Wizard charges in and gets met by the Mage of Light, who stops the charge, protecting the Sisters of Avalorn long enough to continue to hammer away at this steam tank, because they're going to need to. They're going to have to find a way to bring down the health of that steam tank. This is the martial prowess in effect here. So these spearmen, martial prowess, lots of extra stats, are able to chase off swordsmen easily. But we do have a fresh unit of Demigryph Knights of Halberds over here that have found these Shadow Warriors and are going to punish them for existing. Here comes a swordsman. They're actually going to lose in melee against the Sisters of Avalorn, but not when the Demigryph Knights of Halberds gets a hold of him. Oh, so much funds right here in this epic match. I love watching these kinds of charges. Dragon Princess Alariel dove right on in to try and save her sisters. Not a bad call, but here comes a healing spell, an Earth Blood for the Empire. This might help if... I don't know, Empire is looking really haggard right here, especially the Royal Altdorf Griffites. But there's so many archers and Shadow Warriors in free position that are able to just pepper these enemy lines. Don't stop until they're all dead indeed. Sisters of Avalorn are tied up in melee now with these swordsmen, which is all that the Empire can hope to do, is just prevent the Sisters of Avalorn from shooting. And that's why he's bringing in the Spearmen, because he knows these swordsmen are going to lose. Get the Spearmen in there, they can hold it down next. I'd say pull the tank into the Sisters. Go ahead. I don't... Oh, the Fireborn are also really haggard right now, but... Oh, man, so much anti-large, so much going on here. What an epic little exchange this has been. Shadow Warriors now moving up. Another Star of Avalorn in position. Yeah, the Shadow Warriors are charging up all down the line. They are out of ammo. They've spent every shot they have, which is a great... That's great. It means you've really been using your forces to the best of their ability before you get to use them for option 2, which is light infantry. And that... There's 5 more minutes in this, but it's really going to be 5 minutes of Steam Tank. What is the High Elf player going to do about a Steam Tank in this current situation without any of your cavalry remaining? Because everybody just got chased off. The Fireborn might be able to do something, but you got to keep them healthy. You got to keep them separate. Actually, they can't do any more healing. They are done for healing, so that is as good as they are going to get, unfortunately, for the High Elf player, Lotus Moon. Tlaxlan Soothsayer is going to go ahead and start punting enemies all over the place with his Arc Lector, with his Steam Tank. Steam Tank still has plenty of ammo, but... And the enemy doesn't. I mean, is there a strategy here where you can kite, potentially? Here goes another healing spell, this time an Earth Blood for the High Elves. Because all the High Elves have left is going to be melee options at this stage. And yep, sure enough, the Steam Tank is going to fall back. Try and bail out the Demigryph Knights with halberds. I think the Steam Tank is going to be wise to try and spend its ammo against the High Elf player, especially against the Fireborn. I almost called them Dragonborn again, but I didn't. Oh, Sisters of Avalorn have come back. That's what the Empire player is really looking for right now. They got off a volley, but oh man, the Arc Lector just punted their flag bearer. Oh man, then knocked that sister into a Demigryph Knight who kicked it back into the floor, and she's getting back up. She's not done with this. Okay, maybe she is. Maybe it's time to run. Oh, yikes. Steam tanked. And that's going to be the end. Well, maybe not. There's still 9 units left. They are not shattered yet. They're just broken. I think the Steam Tank would be wise to just go ahead and... Yeah, it's trying to expend its ammo into the Fireborn. So Lotus Moon has no choice but to try and pull his Fireborn back. And now, shots come in at Alariel the Radiant. But really, what can they do about it? Alariel's going to try and get a quick charge in on these swordsmen. Maybe chase them out. Get the benefit of the... power bar in her favor. And it worked momentarily, but again, now the Empire player has to back up. Meanwhile, out here, oh, that's a regrouped unit of spearmen has just showed up. Alariel's going to continue to try and get charges against the swordsmen, rear charges, and, you know, terror from her unit, just to break the morale of these swordsmen and get them out of here. And I think the Steam Tank would be better off firing into these blobs of infantry. I know you're going to have to do something about Alariel eventually, but hey, why not shoot your cannonballs at the Fireborn in the distance? Ah! The Mage Light decided to pop up into position for a second. Is going to take a quick tag. So this is going to be a lot of back and forth here. As they try and get, you know, small amounts of damage off against each other. Some healing spells triggered off. Sisters of Avalorn are back to let loose a couple volleys. They're going to eat some cannonballs from the steam tank.
Senlui! Advancing! Asa! Attack!
Let's go ahead and fast forward this. Oh, wait. The Fireborn have come all the way forward now.
Avalon!
And just like that, they're gone. Just like that.
Fight me!
And I think the Arc Lector is going to be able to tank all of this out. That is a very healthy unit of Shadow Warriors, and they're no slouches. And there's plenty of, you know, Earth Blood flying around.
Advancing!
It's going to be a tough one to call.
Isha's will! Going, of course.
For Assyria.
It's going to be a matter of what will the High Elves be able to do against the steam tank, and I think the answer is get Alariel the Radiant in front of it, bog it down, surround it. You see, he's doing move orders to try and stay ahead of it. He's not doing attack orders. He's trying to get his forces ahead of it. If you follow the yellow lines, the red lines. Meanwhile, out here, a unit of Shadow Warriors got separated, and they're going to get defeated by the Arc Lector and what's left of the Demigryph Knights with halberds. As the steam tank is going to go ahead and just tank out this engagement, which I think is probably an okay thing for it to do. Nothing over here has armor-piercing attacks. Nothing. Except for maybe that eagle.
Moving!
Magical attacks on Alariel as well.
Advancing! Setting forth. The winds rise.
Oh, but morale is really starting to go against the Demigryph Knights as they've now broken.
The greater good.
And that's it. Once that happened, Talaxis and Soothsayer went ahead and surrendered to the better player. Let's go ahead and look at the end screen results here. As you can see, those Shadow Warriors managed quite a bit of kills. Yeah, look at that. So 113 kills for that unit, 75-34. Spearmen did their job of holding the line and staying alive. Sisters of Avalorn picked up 2 XP chevrons. I believe they picked that up. They could have started with it, but you never know. Silver Elms, I don't really remember what they did, but it doesn't seem like much. 35 kills for the Dragon Princes, 40 for the Fireborn. Arc Lector with 29, Jade Wizard doing its job of healing, the Warrior Priest as well. Spearmen and Swordsmen obviously outmatched, but they did their best. The 108 kills of that Demigryph Knights with halberds, 43 on the Royal Outdwarf Gryphites, 84 with the Steam Tank. What a phenomenal match. That was fun to watch. And you can see just how important positioning is at this level of play. So I hope you enjoyed that. Next time I'm going to show you what happens when Lotus Moon runs out of elf options. The next video I'm going to show you is going to be Game 4, when you're put in a position where you have to try something that you have only done once before in your life. Alright? I think it's a great story here, and I hope you'll enjoy it. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming in. This is Jarl of the Appian Way, and I'm signing out.